teaching here. You're not going to get 90% results. You will do a heck of a lot better than you are right now. But you won't see the spectacular results unless you do that extra 10%. And you're a leader 100% of the way. And do you understand that concept? You see, if you do 90% of the things that I teach you, you will be better than you are now. Maybe you'll go up 10-fold or 20-fold or 30-fold from where you are now, and that's good. But if you are 100% in what I'm teaching, you will go up 1,000 or 10,000-fold. There's a huge increase in just that little extra effort. That's the difference. Like a horse race. You know, a guy loses by a nose, 1 inch, but the winner gets $1 million. The second place horse gets 10,000. Do you understand? It was only an inch difference. 1/10 or 1/100th of 1 second difference, but the income level is astronomical. That extra inch makes all the difference. Here's what Patton says. A general is an interesting story. A general who had been relieved came in at his own request and tried to explain why he was no good. I offered him a lesser command in another division, but he told me he needed 48 hours to consider it. I did not tell him so, but I realized that any man who could not make up his mind in less than 48 hours was not fit to command any troops in battle. The point here is not what Patton, it's not that Patton valued, snap judgments, but he believed that truly important decisions in life, those involving core values, did not require much time for thought. The answers to such issues should be second nature. It should be part of you. See, this quotation that Patton says here that I just read to you makes very clear that Patton firmly and intuitively grasped what made a good leader. And he didn't compromise in this area. You need to have some core values in your life that when an important decision comes by, you don't waver. It's instant. It's part of you. It's exactly that's what I do. It's exactly that's what I don't do. I've seen businesses where people started evaluating things on, is this a good business decision? What about this? What about that? They forgot that they had a core value that was being broken here. And they began to think too much. And I looked at these individuals and said, none of them have great value in what they're doing. There's one couple that I know that in a business situation, they were the only people. This one couple, along with Blaine Aythorne, this one couple and Blaine were the only two people that instantly and intuitively, based on their own core values, did the right thing, made an instant decision, because they were and are tremendous leaders. Can't be halfway when it comes to your principles. There's a statement that says, you'll fall for anything if you don't stand for something. And you've got to make a stand sometimes in your life. You have to have some depth of conviction on some issues that you can't waver on. And that's a quality that people will admire in you. And keep in mind, if people admire the quality in you, you will admire the quality in you. And that will increase your confidence and increase your own self-esteem, increase your own effectiveness. Next, cherish your prima donnas. Now listen to this. Patton says, in my experience, all very successful commanders are prima donnas and must be so treated. Some officers require urging. Others require suggestions. Very few have to be restrained. You see, most professionals in business or senior managers expect the people in their organization to be, quote, behave like professionals. Well, the fact is, this is an unrealistic expectation. Leaders become leaders because they are uncommon. You understand that? Leaders become leaders because they are uncommon and they know it. I remember when I was in the 9th grade in high school, St. Mary's High School, Lynn, Massachusetts, I was kicking some butt in my class. I had businesses going. I was making money. I was running around reading books, listening to tapes. I was going to functions and seminars. I had dreams and goals. I had confidence. I was making things happen. And I knew I was better, smarter than most of the people around me, and I could win in business and in life. Where most of these people had no clue of their own abilities. They had no confidence. They didn't know what they wanted to do. They didn't have dreams or goals. They were smoking dope half the time, getting drunk. Not me. I knew where I wanted to go, and I knew I could go there. And I had 2 teachers, Mr. Martelli, my math teacher, and another guy, my religion teacher, Mr. Lampert. And when I had them sign my yearbook, I didn't actually read what they wrote until later. And Mr. Lampert wrote, in all my experience as a teacher, which was over 20 years, I've never met a person as intelligent and with as many talents as you. And then he wrote, too bad you know that. What a slap in the face. Too bad I knew it. Too bad I knew it. And it got me thinking. I was like, what do you mean? I got confidence. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with believing in myself? And he made me feel bad. And then I flipped the page to Mr. Martelli. And he wrote, you're one of the most special and unique individuals I've had the pleasure and honor of teaching. Thank God you know that. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Martelli was a patent man because he knew that I was uncommon and different. And he treated me like that. He let me have that power. You see, Patton always said, I'm a prima donna, and I know it. He said the thing I hate about Montgomery, who was the British commander, was he's a prima donna, and he doesn't know it. And the problem was Montgomery was always too cautious in his war because he didn't realize the power that he had. He would have been even a more spectacular, more brilliant, more successful general if he had believed in his own abilities. The point here is you have to make the decision that you're going to be uncommon. No one's born uncommon. No one's born different. You make yourself that way. And when you make yourself that way, you got to start believing in yourself and having that ability. And when you find people in your organization, as you begin to grow an organization of other people, when you find one who's a prima donna, good. Treat them like that. You let them expand. You let them grow. You don't try to restrain them. Next, the image of leadership. Now listen to this. Generals must never show doubt, discouragement, or fatigue. Think about it. See, as a leader, you can't afford the luxury of revealing your feelings, particularly if they're negative, to people in your organization. Now think about it. That means you also can't do that to yourself. Patton always looked and acted the part of the confident commander. And the key word was he always said it. He was an actor. Dale Carnegie said it. You see, this stuff is not new and it's not so isolated. I can give you references from other authors, other books, even the Bible, that all this stuff I'm reading is 100% factually scientific and proven to work. Carnegie said, if you want to be enthusiastic, act like you're enthusiastic. Because if you act like you are, you will. Zig Ziglar says it. We're not We don't sing because we're happy. We're happy because we sing. And we all know this from our own personal experience. I mean, if you played sports, ever get to that one day where, after school you're dragging and you feel crummy and blah, and you have to go to practice and you don't want to be there, but you have to show up, otherwise you'll get kicked off the team or reprimanded, or your friends will make fun of you, so you show up and you're down and you don't want to be there and you got the blues and da-da. And you show up on the practice field and you throw your helmet on and your uniform on and you start running around the field and taking some balls and you're running around. And all of a sudden, after doing it, you start feeling good because you start moving your body and you start acting the part. And all of a sudden, you look the part, you act the part, and you start feeling the part. Do you understand that? You have to look the part first. You have to start speaking the part, acting the part, and then you'll feel the part. You can change your emotional state by dressing the part. I mean, in our organizations, I have people in some of my companies, organizations are all required to wear white, crisp shirts, silk ties, nice slacks, black belts, black shoes that are shined. They're required to have short haircuts. They're required to look like professionals. And guess what? They start acting like professionals. They're required to sit up straight in their chair. When somebody comes into the room, they're required to stand at attention. Someone says, my God, sounds like you're running a military organization. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Maybe it does. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. Maybe I run it like a army that wins battles. Yeah. Huh. It's funny what people say. They say it sometimes out of, with some negative meaning, but they're right, and it's really positive. I remember I was listening to a cassette tape by Dexter Yeager when I was a kid, like 14 years old, and I kept listening to this tape and listening to all of his tapes. My mother came down because she was upset that I was listening to all these tapes because I decided I wasn't going to go to college, and she was upset that I was listening to these successful, wealthy, happy people. And my mother came down to my room when I was listening to this tape, when everybody else would be listening to like Led Zeppelin and hard rock and, Kiss and stuff. And I was listening to motivational tapes. And my mom came down and she yelled at me and she said, "You keep listening to those guys, you're going to turn out just like them." And I started laughing. I said, that's the point. That's the point. You need to have an image of leadership, not just for the other people around you that look at you, but so that you can look at yourself in the mirror. Generals must never show doubt, discouragement, or fatigue. Doubt can sink a ship. You got to be positive. You have to act the part. You have to play the role of a leader. If you do that, you'll start seeing some amazing things happen. Your confidence level will go up. And when that goes up, everything around you starts working to your advantage as if by magic. That's the point. If you do these things long enough, you'll see the results.
All right, perfect. There we go. Amazing. Let me set this up. And we are ready to go. All right. Oh, man, this is blurry. Let me clean this up real quick for us. But what's up, fam? Hope everybody is having a blessed day. I know I am. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling aligned. I'm feeling connected. Let me just clean this up right here real fast. There we go. That's so much better. Awesome, fam. Well, thank you guys so much for hopping on today's call. I'm so blessed, grateful. I'm super excited to be here with all of you on this beautiful Thursday morning. Feeling stupendous. Yes, I love it, man. I love that. I love that. I love that. I'm 46 days into my routine. Finally, today it wasn't raining out here in New York, so I was actually able to go. I was actually feeling some kind of way the last 2 days, man. It was raining, so I wasn't able to go to the park. But today I got a chance to go. I got a chance to do my yoga, the sun, grounding, meditation, read everything. So it's been amazing. So today we're going to talk about leadership in general. I know it says to be determined, but it says leadership for me. And I'm excited to talk about leadership because I understand the importance of leadership. And I want to make sure that I give you guys some key points as to what it is that we must be doing, especially over the next few weeks, in order for us to be able to get ourselves to newer levels. And it's important that we are always growing as leaders, because remember, everything rises and falls off of leadership. And it's important that we understand some more leadership. And I'm going to be teaching a lot of leadership as well, not just spirituality and so on and so forth. I want to make sure that I'm helping you guys develop yourselves into leaders. So I'm excited for it. Let's express some quick gratitude and let's get right into the call. I am grateful for God. I am grateful for my health. I am grateful for my mind, my body, and my spirit. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for the roof over my head. I'm grateful for my mom, my dad, my little brother, my goddaughter, Dadiana. I'm extremely grateful for my team and the leaders within my organization. I'm grateful for the company that I'm a part of. I'm grateful for my mentors. I'm extremely grateful for Katie. I'm grateful for the wisdom, the books that I'm reading, the the basketball game we played yesterday. Got a chance to get a good workout in as well yesterday. So I'm feeling really, really amazing, guys. Honestly, I couldn't tell you guys how great I feel. Even though I fell asleep late last night, I still made it. I still made it happen to wake up this morning, and that's what it's all about, right there. It's about putting yourself in that position to always, okay, make sure that you show up for yourself. And I'm excited for what it is that it's coming for us, and what we're going to be able to create for ourselves on a day-to-day basis, so we can grow and so that we can elevate family. So let's get into today's call. So today I'm going to be talking about just leadership. So at the top of your paper, I want you to put leadership. Okay, now I'm going to be covering a few things that I need all of us to understand when it comes to leadership. Okay. And I'm going to cover a few points, and I'm going to cover them, and I'm going to dive deeper into them so that we can all understand what it is that I want to say here when it comes to leadership. Okay. So, few key points when it comes to leadership. Okay. I want everybody to write this down. Number one, everyone is a leader. Okay. Write that down. Point number one, everyone is a leader. Okay. Now, Nano, why do you say that everyone is a leader? Okay. Because everyone in some place in their life is a leader, right? It doesn't mean just because you're not a leader in a business or you're not a leader of a team, doesn't mean that you're not a leader. Some of us are leaders in our household. Some of us are leaders in our families. Some of us are leaders because we're big brothers, big sisters. Some of us are leaders because we're parents, right? Some of us are leaders in our jobs. We are all leaders in different shapes and forms all around the world, okay? And what we need to understand that as leaders, we always have to be examples for others, because the point of a leader is to be an example for other people. Okay. Make sure that you're doing the right things on a day-to-day basis. And I feel like sometimes as leaders, we tend to forget that we are leaders. And that's a big issue that we have as a society, because every single one of us has the opportunity to lead. Okay. And when we forget that we are leaders, we tend to think that we are followers. So we tend to follow the wrong people when in reality we should be leading. And that happens a lot, right? We tend to forget that, like, I'm a leader. Like, it's up to me to be an example. It's up to me to be impeccable with my word. It's up to me to do this the right way so that everyone that comes behind me also does this the right way. Okay. So we got to all understand that every single one of us on this call is a leader. Okay. We are all leaders, but we have to step into that leadership. We have to embrace that leadership. We have to come to understanding like, this is us. We are leaders. Because if you don't embrace it, okay, then you're never ever going to be able to step into what? The blessing that you've been given to be a leader. So every single person on this call is a leader. Don't ever, ever, ever doubt yourself when it comes to that. Okay. Because I've had a lot of people come up to me and tell me, well, Nano, I'm not a leader. Okay. But even in a business, the most important person that you need to lead is yourself. You have to lead yourself. You always have to even lead yourself. Okay. So if you think about it, okay, let's say you're not a leader to people. Let's say you're not a leader at your job. Let's say you're not a leader in your relationship. Let's say you're not a leader in your business, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, you have to learn how to lead yourself. You got to learn how to lead yourself. Okay. It's still lagging for you guys because on my side it says it's good. Wi-Fi is good. Maybe YouTube. Every time I'm about to drop some sauce on you guys, YouTube seems like it starts to tweak low key. Let me know if it's good on your side though. It's good on my side. It's good on some people's end. I guess it's just certain people that it's lagging for. Yeah, I think YouTube just be bugging sometimes. Yeah, because my Wi-Fi is solid. I'm the only one here at home. Nobody's using it, and it's pretty good. Okay, yeah. So just if it lags a little bit, guys, just log out and come back in. And sometimes it just YouTube sometimes randomly trips. But I want to make sure that you guys understand this because I think that it's key that we understand what our role is in this world and what it's key that we remember that because we are all leaders, okay, because we are all leaders, we all need to lead by example. That's why going on these runs, these consistency runs are so key because look at how important it is for you to be a leader. Just because I've decided to go on a consistency run, look at how many people, okay, have also started to do it. Look at how many people have been impacted. Look at how many people are having breakthroughs. You see what has happened ever since I have started to get consistent with my routine? Notice how everybody else has also started to follow. Some did, some didn't, and that's okay. But for the most part, look at how many individuals have followed because they were what? Also seeing it. And it says it's lagging. A lot of people keep telling me it's lagging. Is it lagging on Instagram too? Leave and come back. YouTube wants to play around today. Yeah, it's definitely not my Wi-Fi. Yep, I'm connected solid here. It's breaking up badly. Yeah, I came here from YouTube. Some people say it's good for them, some is don't. So no lag here. All right, I'll keep going and hopefully it fixes. I guess YouTube has those days where it just messes up. So it's kind of hard to say. It happened a little bit last month as well. And then it was good and then better on IG. Yeah, YouTube be bugging sometimes, fam. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what it is, but we'll keep it pushing. We'll keep it pushing and whoever gets the message gets it. I'll get it out. But the reason why I say what I'm saying is that everyone is a leader because look, think about it. You being successful, for my people who've been successful, for my people who've been following the consistency journey, right? If you've been going for 20 days, 30 days, 40 days, be honest with me and put a one in the chat box. Have you inspired somebody else by doing that? Have you inspired somebody else? Type a one in the chat box if you have inspired someone else to also be consistent because they're now seeing you be consistent. Has somebody started to be consistent because of you? Okay. Look, a lot better. Can you tell me who, right? Type in the chat box who has started to be consistent because you started to be consistent, right? I saw somebody said their kids, right, started to be consistent. My brother Cplex said, my little brother, my youngest daughter is starting to run with me. There you go, Amanda. My boyfriend, my mother, my brother, and several friends, my hubby, my leaders, my children, my friends, my BFF, my fiance, right? Somebody in the chat said, you've inspired the crap out of me to begin this. There you go. Followers on IG, close friends, my trading partner. Look at this. Look at how amazing this is. My children's father, my little nephews, my leaders, a DJ friend of mine. Look at that. A DJ friend of hers. My wifey, my friends, my leaders. Has somebody started to be consistent because of you, my teenage niece and friend? There you go. My significant other. Friends who I shared my business with and this call. My 15-year-old daughter awake early and ready to go before me. So look at what we've done. I'm in ministry leadership at church. Look at that. Look at that. So look at how awesome it is, how we, all of us, just because we took action, okay, just because we have taken action, look at how many of us have already been able to make impact on other people based off of us leading by example. Some of us that are on this call, we may not even have business partners. Some of us may be struggling in our business, but guess what? We are leading by example for friends, for family, for kids, for others. So always remember and never let anybody tell you that you are a leader, because you are. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you're not a leader. Every one of us are leaders on this call. Realize we weren't just leaders to our team members and our leaders. You saw the answers that people were giving. People were giving kids, friends, family, co-workers, significant others, so on and so forth. So if you can lead your friends, if you can lead your family, if you can lead people outside of your circle, guess what? You can lead an organization. You can lead an organization. You can be a business owner. You can be at the top of your business and the top of your company because you already know how to lead. Yes, you may be leading a small amount of people, but if you can lead one, you can lead thousands. So this is where I tell you, don't doubt yourself. Don't ever, ever, ever doubt yourself. Because if you can lead even one person, even if it's just your kids that you are leading, you can lead thousands of people. Because if you can lead one, you can lead 1,000. If you can lead 1,000, you can lead 10,000. Don't ever, ever, ever doubt your abilities. Never. We are all leaders on this call. Some of us have stepped into it a lot faster than others. Some of us don't have the fear of stepping into it. Some of us do. But what I want all of us to do going into the months of September, October, November, December is step into your leadership. Step into who you are. Step into the godlike abilities that God has given us to be leaders of this world. Every one of you on this call are great leaders. You just don't know it yet. You are doubting yourself too much. You're not believing in yourself too much. You're placing limits on yourself on what you think you can do and what you think you can't do. Okay? And in reality, you could do anything that you put your mind to because you've already been given the godlike abilities to step into that leadership. Step in, no fear. Go lead that organization. There's people waiting for you to step up. Think about all the people that we have indirectly impacted just by being consistent every day. Look at how many people we have made better around us because we have been consistent. Look at how many people were waiting for us to be consistent. That's what sometimes we forget to understand. There are people looking for you to step up, for you to be consistent. I honestly, I feel so amazing that I decided to step into that consistency role and get consistent with my routine. But I don't want to say I feel bad, but I feel kind of like, why didn't I do this earlier? Look at how many people were waiting for me to stay more consistent, for them to be more consistent. I almost felt like I was holding some of us back because I was lacking consistency. And it took for me to have a bad month of July to realize that, right? Put a 2 in the chat box if you feel like, right? If you feel like you should have been doing this a lot sooner. If you wish you would have started 2022 like this. How many of you guys wish we would have started this a lot earlier? I know I do. How many of us probably feel a little bad, right? That we're like, man, look at how many people I've impacted already by being consistent. Imagine if I would have been doing this the whole year. Lisa in the chat says, my whole life has changed. Now, it's not about us going to the past because we can't change the past. It's us learning from the past. It's learning that, yo, look, because we didn't make those decisions in the past, look at the feelings that we get now. Look at the doubt that we kind of feel like, man, what if I would have? Let that be the last time that you feel this. Because now what we're doing is we are building up into 2023. Because going into 2023, we're going to go into 2023 consistent. We're not going to, in 2023, we're not going to wait till July to be consistent. We're going to go into 2023 already consistent because we've been building up since the summertime. We don't prepare for 2023 when 2023 comes. We prepare for 2023 now. It's now the preparation. So we got to remember that every one of us is a leader. Okay? That's the first point I wanted to cover. The second point I wanted to cover. Okay? The second point that I wanted to cover is everything rises and falls on leadership. That's the second point I wanted to cover. Everything rises and falls on leadership. Everything. Everything that goes up and everything that goes down is 100 dependent on you. It's all based on your leadership. Everything that's going to rise, all the momentum that you're going to experience, all the great things that happen in your life, it rises on your leadership. But when you fall and you make mistakes and you have failures and things don't go your way, it also falls on you as well. It's understanding that you must take 100% responsibility for everything that happens to you. You never look to the left. You never look to the right. You never blame this person, that person. You always take 100% blame and responsibility for everything that happens to you and around you because you created it. This is key. I've had to understand that the good times in my business were because of my rise in leadership, but the bad times in my business was because of my fall in leadership. There's a reason why I've dedicated majority of my year to the study of leadership. I've been telling this to a lot of leaders and to a lot of people. And the reason why I've been hard on a lot of people lately about it is because I realized that sometimes we read books and we do things unintentionally. And we don't realize that certain times in certain areas in our lives, we need to finish reading whatever book you're reading and let's start reading the leadership books. Let's start reading the leadership books, the books that are going to help us become better leaders. We need to become better leaders. That's what we need to be working on, because I see so many individuals, and I get it. You guys are reading all the spiritual books, the Think and Grow Riches, and all of these different books, which are all amazing. They're great self-development books, and you should read them. But I think that right now, this is a season of leadership. And if there's any book that any of us should be reading, it's leadership books right now. I'm reading leadership books. I'm actually reading two books. I'm reading a spiritual book and I'm reading a leadership book. This is probably going to be the last spiritual book I read for the year. And then I'm only reading leadership books all year. Okay. Every single one of us needs to be working on becoming leaders, because you know what? A lot of you already have the self-development. A lot of you already have the work ethic. A lot of you already have the discipline, the consistency, but you just don't know how to be a leader yet. You just don't know that everything rises and falls on your leadership. So take it from somebody who's been in this game for 5 years, and let me be the one to tell you on this call, go and study leadership for the rest of the year. Go study leadership for the rest of the year. Go study John C. Maxwell. Go read Develop the Leader Within You 2.0. Go read Levels of Leadership. Go read 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Go read The Leader's Greatest Return. Go read How Successful People Lead. Go read these books. Because remember, I do a lot of spiritual work, and spiritual work is so key. It is so key for my soul. It is so key for me as an individual. But at the end of the day, I also need to be a leader, because it's not just about being a spiritual being. It's about being a spiritual leader. You see how that works? It's not about being a spiritual being just. You also want to be a spiritual leader, because we are all spiritual beings, all of us. But when are you going to become that spiritual leader? That's the key. So that's what I realized. I'm like, Neno, you're such a spiritual being. You got the spirituality down packed, and you're studying it day in and day out. But it's time for you to grow in that leadership, because my spirituality has grown, but my leadership has stayed behind. Because I've dedicated so much time to my spirituality, my leadership has stayed behind. But I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I did that, because, like we always say, 90 to 99% of our success is spiritual. So a lot of my spirituality has actually gone ahead, and I've left my leadership behind. Now, if I could go back, I would grow both of them simultaneously. But because I'm already here, it's your job to learn from me. I've gone ahead, and now my spiritual is up here, my leadership is behind. Now, this is why I'm dedicating more time to this, to the leadership, so I can grow and match my spirituality as well. At that point, everything is going to get even bigger and even stronger. Because remember, faith without work is dead. You could have all the spirituality in the world. But if you don't work, if you don't learn how to step into your leadership, it'll never happen for you. Remember, as individuals on this earth, we all have a purpose. And our purpose on earth, okay, one of our life purposes that God gave us on earth is to serve other people. We have life purposes. Okay? One of them being that we have to what? Serve others. The service to many leads to greatness. I know every single one of us here wants to accomplish greatness. Type great in the chat box if you want to accomplish greatness. Okay, I want to see who on this call wants to accomplish greatness. Type great in the chat box if that's what you want to accomplish, right? For everybody that's typing great in the chat box, remember what we just said. The service to many will lead to greatness. So if in order for you to accomplish greatness, you need to serve the many, then you got to think about it. How are you going to serve the many if you don't have the leadership qualities to serve the many? You'll never be able to serve your purpose if you don't have the leadership abilities. I'm going to repeat that again. You will never be able to serve your purpose unless you develop the leadership abilities. That's why the study of leadership in this last quarter is so key. Whatever book you are currently reading right now, if it's not a leadership book, finish that book and get into a leadership book. If you want to stop whatever book you're reading and open up another one and come back to that book, do it. But whatever you do, make sure that you study leadership the rest of the year. I'm telling you because that's what God is telling me. God has been telling me multiple times in my ear to tell you guys this. Too many people are focused on the wrong things. Too many people are reading the Think and Grow Riches and these books and that books, which are all great books. They're all great books. I've read them all. But it's a season for leadership. It's a season for people to step into who they really are. Too many people are just chilling right now. They're just working on themselves. They're just working on themselves. But in leadership, when there's a season for leadership, it's a season of action. It's a season of leading by example. We need to step into that now. We need to stop going into this mindset that we are in chill mode and healing mode and all of this stuff. We need to grow as leaders. So remember, everything is going to rise and fall on leadership. And remember this, the reason why I know this is going to take us to new levels, because if you want to write this down. Raising tides raise all ships. Raising tides raise all ships. So one of us goes up, one tide goes up, and it's going to raise all of us up. But we need to go up. We need to raise. We need to go up. We need to step into it. Yeah, I was thinking about it, Natasha. I know we did it last October. I might do it this October as well. Last October, I did October for leadership, and I dedicated the whole month to leadership. And I think I'm going to do it again this year as well. We did it last year, and everybody loved it. I planned it out the whole entire month, training by training. So number 2 was, we said everything rises and falls on leadership. Now, I said that we should all be reading leadership books. Let me give you guys some leadership books to write down that are very key books, okay? That if anything, we did stop visualization because of it. Because I want to make sure that you guys know what the good leadership books are. All right. First book, and majority of them will be from John C. Maxwell because he's really the only one I study. But I know there's other great leadership books out there, right? I have Develop the Leader Within You 2.0. Develop the Leader Within You 2.0. That's one of them. The 5 Levels of Leadership is another one. The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership is another one. Okay. The Leader Who Had No Title. It's a great one by Robin Sharma. The book that I'm currently reading right now, The 17 Indisputable Laws. The 17 Indisputable Laws of Teamwork is a great one. All right. The Leader's Greatest Return is a phenomenal book. The Leader's Greatest Return has to do with the development of leadership. How do you develop leaders around you? But first, you got to learn how to develop yourself. So these are some of the books that I wrote down for leadership. I'll put them in the chat box. Oh, man. It doesn't. Let me see if I can space it out. Let me see something. Oh, shit. It's sent. Oh, it's sent, guys. Well, take it from there. I try to I have it organized, but I put them in the chat right there. Pick them up as you can. I put spaces in between them. So just some of the books off the top. Yeah, I'll send them on the Telegram as well. I'll send them on the Telegram right now, actually, so you guys can have them. But like I said, those books right there are super dope. Develop the Leader Within You 2.0, The 5 Levels of Leadership, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, The Leader Who Had No Title, The 17 Indisputable Laws of Teamwork, and The Leader's Greatest Return. Okay? I've read all of those books except for The 17 Indisputable Laws of Teamwork, which is what I'm reading right now. But when I tell you guys, let me tell you something. Because I've grown in my leadership, I'm actually attracting better people into my business. Robin Sharma wrote The Leader Who Had No Title. Do me a favor, guys. If you've dealt with this as a struggle, type a 3 in the chat box where you feel like you're not attracting the right people into your business. Type a 3 in the chat box if you feel like you've struggled with attracting the right people into your business. I can put a 3 in the chat box because also myself, I struggled with that. I've struggled with that for years. I still struggle with it. And you know what's funny? Ever since I started to work on my leadership, and ever since I started to develop myself as a leader and grow my levels of leadership, guess what has happened? I have started to attract better people into my business. Because remember, I say this all the time. You can't be a level 5 leader and attract 7 and 8 level people. That's not how it works. Because you can't lead people who are level 7, level 8 people. Okay? Because I know more than you. So as a leader, you have to grow. Remember, you could be as spiritual as you want to be. You could do all of these things. You could be a great network marketer. But being a leader is a completely different topic. Okay? I am great at spirituality. I am great at network marketing. I am great at crypto investments and all these different things. But if I don't have leadership, it doesn't matter how good I am in these areas. It doesn't matter. I've seen people who are great traders, but bad leaders. I've seen people who are millionaires, have so much money, but they're terrible leaders. And I'm sure you guys have seen them. Man, look at our president. I don't think he's a leader. He's the president. So we got to remember, fam, leadership is so important. Leadership is so key. And you got to know this, and it's super key, right? Chapter 121 of Irrefutable Laws. Yes, the law of the lid. We got to remember that whatever level we are, we will only attract the leaders below us. So, For example, let's say, and this is no disrespect to anyone on this call, okay? But for the most part, if you just got started in leadership and this is something that is new to you and you're just getting into it, for the most part, most people on this call, okay, are anywhere from level 3 to level 5 in leadership at this point. Usually people who've been working on their leadership for years are probably level 6, level 7, level 8, and if you have more experience. But for the most part, everybody on this call is anywhere from a level 3 to a level 5 leader. Majority. And I'm not saying everybody, but for the most part. Because I know some of you, and I see where some of you guys are, and I know some of us are there, right? And that's no problem, because to be real with you guys, I was there at the beginning of the year. And let's say, for example, you're a level 3 leader. A level 3 leader can only attract level 1 and level 2 leaders. Think about that. You can only attract level 2 and level 3 leaders. If you're a level 4 leader, you're only going to attract level 3, level 2 leaders. If you're a level 5 leader, you're only going to attract level 4, level 3 leaders. So you got to understand that you need to work on this. Because if you're not happy with the people that you're attracting, is because of the level of leadership that you are on. I grew my leadership, and the moment I grew my leadership, I started to attract level 5 and level 6 leaders. I consider myself, and this is me being nice and me being considerate, I consider myself maybe a level 7 growing into a level 8 leader. I would consider myself right now a level 7 leader. I'm not even at 10 yet. I would say between 6 and 7. So as I've grown in the leadership, I've realized that the type of leaders and the qualities of leaders that I've developed and that I've attracted into my business are a lot better. Before, I would attract people that didn't want to work. Before, I would attract people that didn't have desire, that were lazy, that were so on and so forth. Now I attract people that push me. Now I attract people that were where I was at the beginning of the year. I'm like, yo, that's crazy that I'm attracting this person, because they remind me a lot about myself at how I was at the beginning of the year. But because I've grown in leadership, God has blessed me with these great people. And you will notice, listen to this, God has the blessing that you've always wanted in your business when you step into it. You just have to grow into that person, and then God is going to place those leaders in your life. But because you haven't stepped into that leadership, because you haven't grown into that leadership level yet, God hasn't placed those people in your life yet, because you're not yet ready to lead those people. That's the problem. Some of you guys are looking for leaders and looking for this, and you're trying to attract leaders into your business while you're still a level 3, level 2, level 4 leader. But in reality, that's not the blessing that God has for you. God is waiting for you to become that level 5, that level 6, that level 7 leader, so that he can place those leaders into your life that you've been asking for, and only then will you get them. But until then, you will just continue to attract these same kind of people. And this is why I am asking everyone on this call to please put down any book that is not a leadership book and dedicate the rest of the year to leadership. Trust me. Trust me, I will never let any of you down. Trust me. Dedicate the rest of the year to leadership. If you want to finish the book that you're finishing, finish it. It's cool. If you want to put the book down that you're currently reading right now and get right into it, that's what I highly recommend. Like, I don't want you to go another week without reading a leadership book. That's how serious and that's how much urgency God is telling me that we all need to get when it comes to leadership. Because a lot of the blessings that God has for us, they're already here, but we just haven't developed that leadership ability just yet. And I'm not saying that you got to go buy every book. You could get one of the books. I would start with developing the leader within you 2.0, because you got to develop the leader within you first. So if you guys are thinking a good book to start with, Develop the Leader Within You 2.0 or How Successful People Lead. Those are two really good books to start with. They're great, great books. I'm telling you. So we got to make sure that we step into that because, like I said, God has those leaders ready to bless us, ready for them to come into our businesses. But because we haven't stepped into those levels of leadership yet, we haven't got them yet. And you know what's funny? I realize now that God had those blessings for me all along. As a matter of fact, God had those blessings for me at the beginning of the year, but I just hadn't stepped into my leadership yet. But as I grew in my leadership, now all the leaders that I was looking for are now here and they're joining my business. Okay. So everything rises and falls on leadership. So we got to read the books. We got to study leadership. Okay. That's the second point I wanted to make. This is very key. I've been telling this. I've been the same message I gave you guys, and I'm giving you guys now. I've been giving it to my leaders. I've been giving it to those closest to me. I literally had this conversation with my sister Julie the other day, and she listened to me because she listens to me right away. She was reading a book. I'm like, yo, sis, put all of those books down, forget about all of that stuff, and start reading this book right here. And she started to read the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Let me tell you this story. And she tells me, bro, I am so grateful that I started to read this book. I realized how much I needed to step into my leadership. I'm realizing so much about the things that I'm doing and the things that I'm not doing. Like, bro, why didn't I do this earlier? Why didn't I not step into my leadership earlier? I was so focused on my spirituality. I was so focused on healing. I was so focused on everything else when in reality, all I needed to be focused on is leadership. I needed to focus on stepping into the leadership. I am so much better. I am worth so much more. I know that now that I'm reading this book. And I am so grateful that she listened to me. I'm so grateful that she listened to me. And she's like, I'm having breakthroughs after breakthroughs after breakthroughs after breakthroughs because of these books. Because she stepped in. She stepped in. All the audios, I'm only listening to leadership audios. I'm only reading leadership books. Okay. I'm reading 2 books at a time. Like, I am not playing right now. For me, it's all about leadership right now. Leadership, 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 because God wants us to step into our leadership abilities. We've studied a lot. We've trained a lot. We've developed our spirituality all summer. We worked on our spirituality all summer. All summer, we developed our spirituality. All summer, we grew spiritually. All summer. Nobody worked on the spiritual side of success more than this group right here all summer. And that's the reason why we're so strong. That's the reason why we're so developed. That's the reason why our our consistency is so intact and we are just so connected more than we've ever been. But I'm telling you guys, when you now add this in there, because it's not like we're going to forget about our spirituality because that's still a daily practice. But now realizing your inner leader, yo, the levels that we are all going to hit now is going to be game changing. Because what the leadership is going to do is going to help us with that 10%. We've been working on the 90 to 99% all summer. All summer, we worked on the 90%. All summer, we worked on the 90%, which is the spiritual side. Now it's time for us to work on the physical side, which is the 10%. And that is the leadership side of things. Type a 10 in the chat box if you guys are ready to now step into the 10% side of things, which is the leadership and the action that we must take. Because what I don't want us to do is for us to become personal development and spiritual junkies. I don't want us to become that. I don't want us to become personal development and spiritual junkies. Nano, what do you mean by that? Well, personal development and spiritual junkies are basically people that we just study. We read. We practice. We do all of the things when it comes to spirituality, but we take no action. We don't step into who we are. We don't step into our leadership. We can't be that. We cannot be people who are spiritual and personal development junkies. We can't just be people who read, and just listen to audios. No. We can do that, absolutely, 100%. We can do that. We need that. It's important. It's vital that we do that. But it's also important that we do the 10%. And the 10% is the key. We cannot become personal development and spiritual junkies. I know a lot of people out there that are like that. They read all the spiritual books. They do all the meditation. They buy all the crystals. They do all the spiritual work. They do all the healing. They do all of this stuff, but they take no action towards the goals. They take no leadership action. They listen to all the audios. They go to all the events. They listen to all the books, everything, but they take no action. They do not do the 10% of the work. And you cannot grow if you are like that. So from this point moving forward, like I said, we focused all summer on the 90%. This last quarter, we already good. We developed it. We have routines. We are consistent. We are doing our morning routines. We already developed a routine for our spirituality. We good. We solid on that part. I am not worried at all. I am not worried at all. And it's not that it's bad to be a junkie. You can be a junkie, but be a junkie that takes action. Because now, this 10% that we're going to focus on, September, October, November, and December, this is the 10% that's going to change our lives. These next 90 days change our lives. I guarantee you it does. We need to put all the spiritual work that we put in all summer to work now. And it's 11/11, and that's how true it is. I'm going to repeat what I just said. We need to put all the spiritual work that we put in all summer to work now. That's what we need to do now. It's to work. And that's the key. And then that brings me to my third and final point. We said first point is everyone is a leader. Second point is everything rises and falls on leadership. Okay. And then the last point is the most important person you have to lead is yourself. The most important person you have to lead is yourself. That's the key. The most important person you have to lead. Once you lead yourself, you can lead others. But you can't lead others if you haven't led yourself first. So Go out there and buy that leadership book. Read that leadership book. Take actions like a leader. Learn how to lead yourself now. Because like I said, all of this spiritual work is amazing. But if you don't know how to take action on it and how to lead yourself and find out what works for you and what doesn't, it doesn't do anything for you. It's important. I love what Steven said in the chat. He said, results are a way of showing gratitude. Powerful. Gratitude is the key. But the most important person you have to lead is yourself at the end of the day. Lead yourself with the right habits. Lead yourself by taking massive action. Lead yourself by making sure that you create an environment for yourself that's conducive to your growth. Right? Lead yourself in all areas of your life. Lead yourself when it comes to your eating habits. Lead yourself when it comes to your physical body. Lead yourself when it comes to your personal development. Let's lead ourselves in all the areas of our lives. Let's lead ourselves when it comes to making sure that we put God first. Making sure that we take care of our families. Making sure that we make our significant others happy. Let's lead now. Let's put our work that we put in all summer to action now. Now it's up to us now to lead ourselves. We've sat down, we've worked, we've healed, we've developed. That's it. That's it. No more of it. That's it. There's no more. It's time for action now. All year, the rest of the year is only action, action, action. Savage September is what I like to call it. And you know what? Take that action and step into that leadership with no fear. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you are ready and you are prepared, fam. That's what we worked for all summer. You know who you are. You were on these calls with me all summer, all of June, all of July, all of August. You were there when we read The Feeling is a Secret. You were there when we read The Power of Awareness. You were there when we talked about God. You were there for every prayer. You were there for every healing. You were there for everything. You're being consistent right now. You were there. You are ready. Some of you guys don't know how ready you are, to be 100% real with y'all. Some of you do not know how actually ready you are to step into the next level right now. But you haven't stepped into it yet. Remember, God is on our side. Do not have fear of taking that next step because God already put us in position. He worked on us all summer. He healed us all summer. He prepared us all summer for these moments right here. And let me give you guys a story to finish this off, right? And somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not an expert at the Bible, but it's the story of the parable of the talents, right? God came, three of his leaders, and he gave them each a certain amount of talents. He gave this one leader 5 talents. He gave this one leader 3 talents, and he gave this other leader 1 talent. Okay. He said, I'll be back on this day, and I'm see what you guys are going to do with it. He comes back. The leader he gave 5 talents to turned it into 10. He said, great job. You are a good and faithful servant. My brother Cash was good. He gave this leader 3 talents. What did you do? Love your family always. I gave you 3 talents. What did you do? I turned it into 6. Great. You're a good and faithful servant. I gave you 1 talent. What did you do? I buried it. He told them, God asked him, I gave you one talent. What did you do? He said, I buried it. I kept it good and safe. And now here it is. I'm giving it back to you. Okay. And guess what he told that individual? He said, I gave you one talent and you didn't do anything with it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this talent and I'm going to give it to the person that has 10. And some of you guys would say, hey, but that's not fair. He already has 10 talents. He's the one that's been working the hardest. Don't be the person, that last guy right there. That's all I'm telling you. Don't be the last leader in that story. And I don't know the story verbatim. Like I know the basics of it, the surface level of it. Be the leader that multiplied the talents. Be the leader that multiplied the talent. Be the good and faithful servant leader, which were the first two. The last one was a wicked and ungrateful servant. Don't be the wicked and ungrateful servant. Because he gave you the talents, he prepared you, he got you there, but you didn't take action. You didn't multiply the talents. And that's not what you want to do. That'll be a very, very, very big mistake that you make if you do not multiply the talent. All right, fam. So with that being said, that wraps up today's call. I wanted to talk about leadership because I wanted to make sure that we change the topics from the spiritual side and the self-development side of things into let's work. And it's not that we won't be doing spiritual work, because we still will be doing spiritual work. Absolutely. But I want us to focus a lot more on the leadership aspect side of things moving forward. All right, fam. Let's go out there and multiply our talents. Go buy these leadership books that I told you guys to buy. Like I said, a really good one to start with is Develop the Leader Within You 2.0. Okay, because before you can lead others, you got to develop the leader within you. That's a really, really good book to start with. It's not that long of a read. It's a really good book. I've read it already, and it helped me out a lot. Okay, so if you guys got value from this call, put some threes in the chat box. All right, if you got some value from this call, let us know in the chat box. Yeah, bro, this book has a phenomenal good reviews, over 2 million copies sold. It's the red and black one. You can actually get it. I like the paperback, to be honest. I got the paperback. Damn, the hardcover is $50. That's crazy. Yeah, I like the paperback. The paperback is cool. It's a great book, though, man. Such a phenomenal book. I'm going to read it again, honestly. But with that being said, fam, I'm excited to watch you guys step into your level of leadership. And John C. Maxwell should pay me a referral. Facts. I should talk to him about that. But with that being said, I'm going to wrap up today's call, and I'm going to do a quick prayer for us. So everybody bow your heads and let's pray. Father God, thank you so much for blessing us with this beautiful Thursday morning where we get a chance to grow and step into our leadership. We understand the message that you shared with us today because it's true. It is very, very true. We've worked on ourselves. You've healed us. You've protected us all summer. You've cleared us of a lot of energies that we didn't need in our bodies. You've cleansed us. You've actually put us in a phenomenal position, and we are so thankful for all that you've done for us and all the inner work that you've done for us all summer. It did not go unnoticed one bit, and we are all thankful. And on behalf of this whole entire family, we want to say thank you to you for all the inner work that you did. And now we do understand that we got to step into our leadership. Now that we've healed, now that we've cleansed ourselves, now that we have poured into ourselves, now is our chance to go out there and serve, because we understand that that is our purpose on earth, God. And right now, we are more ready than ever to step into that leadership role. And we want to thank you for being our leader. We want to thank you for leading by example. We want to for always being there for us and providing us with the wisdom and the guidance that we need in order for us to become better leaders, because you've led the way for us. You've impacted us. And now is our turn to return the favor. It's the laws of the universe. It's our duty now to do it. It's our duty now to return that favor and help others the way that you've helped us, help heal others the way that you helped heal us, help guide others the way that you've guided us. And we are just so thankful for the guidance and the wisdom and all the pouring in that you've done for us all summer. We are ready now to step into this next level. I want you to help each and every single one of us make that decision today to step into that leadership so we can go to the next level, Father. We are so thankful for you. We appreciate you, and we promise to serve our purpose moving forward and serve the many, Father. We appreciate you. We love you. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. 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 All right, guys. So with that being said, actually my phone died. Instagram caught the last of that. But with that being said, that wraps up today's call. Whew. Feels so good, man. Feels so amazing whenever you speak the word and you pray with God. And I'm just so ready to watch all of us grow, honestly and truthfully. I don't think you guys understand how grateful and how excited I am to watch all of us step into our leadership. I cannot wait to see every single one of you step into your leadership. All right, fam. So let's go work. We got work to do the rest of the day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow on Friday for the last episode of the week of Mornings with Nano. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe to this channel. Okay. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. I'm also I'm also gonna be making an Instagram post like in the next 5 minutes. So if you guys can go show some love on it, it would honestly mean the world to me if you guys can show some love on the new post that I'm gonna be making. It's gonna be super dope. It's gonna be a documentary that I'm a part of, and I think that you guys are truly gonna love it. It's called the Trials to Triumphs documentary, and I'm gonna make a post. I'm gonna make a Reels post like in the next 5 minutes here, so I can get that video out. So if you guys see it, show some love. I appreciate it. It always means the world to me. And subscribe to the channel. Turn on the post notification. Leave a comment below if you haven't on one thing you learned on today's call. And if you want to follow my podcast, follow me on Apple Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, SoundCloud, and you can find it under Mornings with Nano. My Instagram is at Long Live Nano. Okay, I only have one Instagram. I will never ask you for money. If any fake pages follow you, please report them. All right, fam. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I will see you guys tomorrow for another episode of Mornings with Nano. Let's rock, fam.